Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today is another very important update for Bitcoin. I was literally about to press record and talk about this pattern that we were forming on the 1 hourly, but we literally just broke down like a couple of seconds ago. This is super annoying, but it's all right because this would have been a nice trade. It's okay. It's cool because we still have a bunch more other stuff to talk about. This would have been perfect because this breakdown could have been a beautiful trade, but it's all right. Trades come and go, no worries whatsoever. But today there's going to be a bunch of stuff that I'm going to be talking about. There is very, very dangerous stuff happening. We're going to be going through a bunch of very important stuff in today's video, so make sure to stick around until the end. Well, the first thing that I want to start off with was this, and now this is basically, well, we can't do anything with this unfortunately anymore. This would have been a nice trade. We basically hit its take profit level at the moment, but if I zoom out a little, right, we need to zoom out. It's looking pretty scary for Bitcoin overall. So I'm going to zoom out to the daily time frame. I want to talk about this, right? I've mentioned in my videos for a very, very long time, this $26,600 level was super important for Bitcoin, like super, super important. And I've mentioned that if we did end up breaking down from this level, it's going to be a total catastrophe for Bitcoin. And guys, I'd like to first of all congratulate each and every one of you because if you guys remember from the previous videos, we've predicted this move actually perfectly, and a huge, massive congrats. We in fact just came down to our take profit. So my position should have closed now. If I check it, yeah, I believe it's closed now. So I think that took profit by itself already, but a massive congratulations. We came down perfectly to our first take profit target. Now I've mentioned in the previous videos also that I have a second take profit. Now this second take profit I said will be in the 24,300, 24,200 range, but I'm going to jump into it again and we're going to look through it once more. Now this candle is going to be super important because this is a very important level of support, and now we're seeing a little bit of a pullback towards the upside because we could form a potential hammer candle here. Now if we do form a reversal candle like a hammer candle, we could have a short-term V-shaped recovery, a little bit of a dead cat bounce towards the upside, potentially back towards the 26.6K. Now I'm not going to be trading this because again, what we could do is we could consolidate here and then fall even harder. And the thing that's suggesting me for a larger fall is that now we're actually below the 200 period moving average, and we're literally touching the final EMA ribbon on the weekly chart. Now this is super critical, like it is very, very critical. We came down to this 25.2K and now we just have to sit back and observe the next couple of hours, right? I could, if we break down again from this 25.2K, open another short position down to the 24,200. So in fact, I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to analyze the markets, and if I do end up doing it, I will make sure to alert you guys on my free Telegram channel, which you can join using the link in the description below. But guys, make sure to smash up the like button. That's all I ask in exchange for this content. That would be absolutely beautiful if you guys can go ahead and do that. Now, something that you could do later on today, after, if we do come back down to this level, I will consider opening a position like so with a very, very tight stop loss, right? A very, very tight stop loss. In fact, let's look at the lower time frame for a potential stop loss. So if I zoom back onto the 4 hourly, you can see we perfectly tested this level and now we're bouncing back towards the upside. So I do think we could have a very tight stop at the $25,800. So if I jump back, right? If I jump back, I want to put my stop loss at the 25,800. This is going to give us a nice little trading opportunity. So it's going to be, it's not going to be amazing, to be honest with you. And I would personally not put a lot of money into this trade because it's not a 2-to-1. So this is a very risky trade. You could take it. Of course, nothing in this video is financial advice. Always come to your own conclusions and follow your own proper risk management strategy. But the thing is, if we do come back down to this level, then we could go down all the way to 21.4. Now, the reason for this is, if you've been watching my videos again for a long time now, I've been talking about this potential head and shoulders pattern, right? And I've been talking about this on the weekly chart. A lot of people have been like, come on, man, for sure that's not going to happen. It's too early to tell. But I've been saying this all along. And I do think, right, if we do break down from this 25.2, we could continue and form this massive head and shoulders pattern. Now, of course, the head and shoulders would give us a final bearish target of $21,300, which is something that I'm looking at very, very carefully. And if we do end up breaking from this 25.2, then the 24.2, I do think 21.4K is possible. So if I will enter this trade, I'll actually enter it more long-term on the weekly with a take profit over here. And of course, my stop loss, as I discussed, at $25,800. And then this would be, of course, a very beautiful trade. I wouldn't use much leverage on this personally because it's already a very nice take profit with 15% profit unleveraged. So this is the trade thing. So this is what I'm looking at trading wise. Now, just a little bit more clarity on why I said if we break down from this 26,200, why we can head even lower. This was very critical, right? So I've mentioned, I believe like 2-3 videos ago, this volume profile range. And I've said that between this level, right, this 26,600, that range, to this level over here, in fact, all the way down to the 25,000, 24,700, there is very little volume, right? There is very, very little volume. And the thing, like how things work is, for a price to drop, you don't need just, you know, a bunch of people shorting or a bunch of people selling. If there is a lack of buyers, price can still drop towards the downside. So this is exactly what we experienced. Once we broke down from here, because we had a lack of buyers between this range, once we broke down from this 26.2, it was very easy for us to come down to this 25.2K level, and that is where we're at the moment. So that is explaining to you why we, from a technical perspective, why we broke down. Of course, the thing that fueled us, the thing that, you know, tipped over the can was the Binance news. Now, it's reported that Binance users pulled out $1.5 billion after the alleged SEC allegations, right? So this is pretty big. I mean, in terms of, is Binance safe? I think they're safe. I think they're a safe exchange. Again, I never put all my eggs into one exchange at all. Never I do that. I always diversify the amount of exchanges that I use. You know, for example, I use on the trading challenge, I use Bitflex, which you can sign up to over here. Personally, on my personal trading, I use Bybit, I use OKX, I use a bunch of different exchanges to diversify my risk. And I never put on exchanges an amount that I'm, you know, willing to lose. So I'm okay with losing this money. I'm putting this onto the exchange, and that's fine. So that's how I separate my exchanges. But do I think Binance is under trouble? No, I don't think so. I mean, this mingling of funds is very similar to the FTX situation, right? That is very shady to me, and I don't think there is a proper explanation to this mingling of the, you know, the money in Binance US. And that's the thing that's a bit shady to me. And of course, you know, you can't trust anybody, unfortunately. Like no matter what they say. I've been checking CZ's Twitter. Of course, he's trying to get rid of the FUD, you know, retweeting people saying, you know, for etc. blah blah blah. But the thing is, right, you don't know who to trust. You know, just before this FTX thing, very little amount of people would have guessed something like this could happen. So you never know, right? And that is the harsh situation. The way that you can protect yourself is by reducing your exposure to exchanges and keeping your funds off and on cold wallets. That is what you can do. That is how you can protect yourself. So that is pretty much an overall explanation, right? And if I just jump into the weekly time frame, I also want to point out that the MACD, right, had a massive crossover towards the downside. And I've mentioned that the reason why I was taking these short positions was because on the weekly time frame we looked super bearish, you know, and it was, my positions were reliant on more macro time frames, and unfortunately on the macro we're not looking too good. And just a cherry on top for all of these points that I've mentioned for a bearish standpoint is the interest rates are most likely going to be increased again. Now, this would be catastrophic because we would be literally at 2000, well, even above 2008 levels. And that is, of course, when the massive recession happened. Now, I'm not the one saying this. The person that is saying that the interest rates will be increased is actually the CEO of BlackRock himself. That is his prediction. Again, if we do see an increase in interest rates, that will be very hurtful for the economy overall, and that will for sure continue to hurt Bitcoin as a whole as well. So that is something I'm looking out for. Now, we're in a bearish trend. I've talked about this too. We've made lower highs, lower high, and we're still in a bearish trend on the daily chart. So I'm in a bearish trend, even though on the massive macro we're in a bullish trend because of this higher low. We still need to, if Bitcoin does crash, if we come to like 21,400 and then we bounce off from that level, that would give us a higher low, so that would still keep us in a bullish trend. But let's see, right? It's looking pretty interesting, and we just need to keep a very close eye on the markets, very close eye on the news events, because things can get much more scary if we continue with this bearish momentum. So do keep a close eye on the markets, especially these next couple of days and weeks. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video and get some value out of it. Again, if you're not subscribed already, I would really appreciate a subscribe and a like for the video. But guys, that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, everyone, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, guys, and bye-bye.